Oh, come. What's wrong with this guy on the left, dude? What the fuck? What? Fucking god, dude. Fucking hate this game. Fucking hate all games, dude. Video games suck. What a fucking joke, dude. Dude, fucking Christ. I'm just gonna keep going. It's about to turn into me doing nothing tonight. So I've already lost 3 runs in this dungeon. This fucking guy will not fucking do what he's supposed to do. Now I have to reset. Unless I somehow manage to kill him without dying. Well, now I have no bombs, so it's like... Fucking damn it, dude. This game is really pissing me off so far. Already reset 4 times. Yeah, I'm fucking reset, dude. I'm down this. I'm just set up to die to the fucking next boss. Uh-oh. You're not gonna tell me that 12 months is gonna be as good as changes. I will not believe that. There's no way. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe. I said on many occasions, it's gonna be like a book about emotional recovery, and like he wants to move away from action because it would be too much action to have another book full of action right after Battleground. I guess, you know, I don't necessarily believe action makes books good. Like, yeah, I was talking to Serpico this morning about I didn't really care for the action in the book that he had me listen to. It was like everything but the action. It was what was interesting about it. Also, what he's saying, that guy saying that implies that he didn't think Battleground was Jim at his peak. Which I definitely disagree with. I judge a book mostly on how well can it manipulate people's emotions, and Battleground did a really good job at that. So, it's a good book. I mean, I could say that about Changes. There's like several chapters where they break into a military facility just to like find out that maybe Maggie is somewhere in Mexico. Like, that was all kind of like random and pointless. Bruce, get on. Bruce. Guys, stop it! Stop it, you two. Not fucking time. I can't think of anything in Battleground that I felt like was unimportant to the story. Peace Talks, different. It's different. And that's because he had to inflate the word count to make it a full book when it was originally part of a single book. I just think it's because Jim sort of violated his own rules about scene and sequel. About how every action scene should have another scene tied to it where we go over the character's reaction to that action and decide how they're going to move forward. Whereas Battleground had like sequences of action that were like multiple chapters back to back without any breath of air. All I'm saying is I have Battleground definitely in the top like 3 to 5 books, so I would not say that is Jim being off form in any way, shape, or form. And if he goes back to what he was writing like in White Knight, then I'm gonna be upset. I guess you could argue what made Battlegrounds so good is he got to play with all the pieces that he put into place via many other books. It was cool because we got to see all the supernaturals in one place at the same time. Turncoat was alright, but it kind of... Turncoat was kind of weird because I think it had 2 climaxes. And the second climax wasn't as climactic as the first. Like, the big climax that got me the most excited was being on the island and fighting the Nagloshi. But then you have, like, 3 more chapters about Peabody at the end. Which, like, to me felt like a lowering in the action compared to Demon Reach action. But Turncoat was good. I mean, it's hard to mess up a book with that good of a premise in it. Take the main character's like one of his biggest antagonists and have him have to help that antagonist out, solving a mystery, framing the antagonist. That's just a good idea. I feel like is easy to succeed with. Yeah, but Peabody should not have been a real threat to anybody when there's like multiple senior council members present. Like Merlin alone should have been able to single-handedly solo Peabody, no problem. And then there's like 5 other senior council members there too. Hey, Max, come in. He was in their minds and he had an outsider to help him. Like, the outsider was the dangerous part, not Peabody himself. It would have allowed them to not get caught off guard by Peabody. If fucking Dresden like warned the senior council that what he's about to do before the trial. Not just show up and like get Peabody stuck in a corner with nobody else knowing what's going on except for Mouse. I would call that bad planning on Dresden's part. God damn it, I hate when the guy doesn't follow a normal pattern. Yeah, like when he does this shit, I have no idea. Like it's just pure RNG. Alright, that works. Anyway. I think the best plots are generally things that put all the important pieces in place, but don't show you how it's going to fit together until the climax, and then all of a sudden you're able to come to the conclusion of how they fit together sort of at the same time as the book is explaining it. And that's what I feel like Changes did really well. Like the curse and like the ritual, like that was all set up well in advance. It wasn't until the very end that you realize, oh shit, you can do what with that ritual? I guess Battleground didn't really do that. I mean, they set up the whole Spear of Destiny thing good and early in that book. But other than that, like the other elements involved in bringing down Ethnio were like not really foreshadowed so much. And still, I think that one of the biggest problems with that book too is that Ethnio, even though she has like the highest power level of any enemy so far, she still just, in my mind, she does not seem important at all. Like, she's not a character from mythology that like anybody knew about before this book. She's like basically very mustache twirling kind of villain. And she had like very little self-control in the end. She's like not nearly as good of a villain as, say, Nicodemus. So yeah, Battleground does have its problems. I think the main reason Battleground is remembered as such a good book is because of the emotional toll of what happens in the middle of it. I'm trying to be vague in case anyone else reads it. Yeah, I don't think Fomor are that relevant going forward, to be honest. I'm not worried about Fomor like coming back with revenge or anything. I'm worried about the Denarians coming back that way, but not Fomor. Yeah, it's like by the time when they become relevant, it's like you kind of have to look back and like wonder like, who are these guys again? Why are they what are they? And like as a concept, they're very vague as well. Like they're not like a single species or anything. Like they're basically a collection of species that all kind of are like outcasts or something. I don't even remember well enough to explain what they are. Yeah, Fomor were not mentioned once in Cold Days, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, Ethnu. Even well, I mean, Ethnu is Greek mythology, right? But again, like nobody knows who she is beforehand, so she just doesn't have as big an impact. And same with Fomor. Yeah, Fomor are a real part of mythology, but like ask an average person on the street, they're gonna have no fucking idea what Fomor are. If you ask them what are vampires, you know, what they're gonna know what fucking vampires are, or fucking like fairies and shit. Like, but Fomor, like pop culture has not placed an image in our heads of what Fomor are, so they're hard to imagine. Yeah, I thought they were made up at first too, yeah. And even after looking them up, I still don't find them really interesting in any way. Which is why I think they won't be very important going forward. I think I just like the Denarians. I like the Black Court. I think the Black Court is still a... They're probably going to get their own book eventually, and they're going to be pretty important, I think. And then, of course, the Outsiders are kind of like the big bad, as I've been saying all along. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I wonder why he chose them. Like, maybe he grew up with knowing about them, so for him it was like including something in his opinion that would be like well known and easy to imagine. But yeah, it almost seems like he decided, alright, let me pick the most random ass mythology that nobody's ever heard of and use that. I don't think that would have helped that much because I don't think Bombshells is a good story either. Which makes it not very memorable for me. Pretty much my biggest takeaway from that whole story is that Andy is a bitch. Literally. I hate the way she like tells Molly to like just get over Harry when she's like still mourning. Like I hate people who do that. Like if you love someone and you lost them, like there's no like I don't know, I think it's wrong to try to make someone get over it really fast. Yeah, I mean, I remember that, but only because I read it recently. I had to read it 3 or 4 times in total to retain any information about it other than Andy being a bitch. I need a single rupee from these guys. Oh, thanks. Oh, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I could burn that tree for 30 rupees, but it'd probably be a little faster to kill a couple of these guys. There we go. Yeah, it's probably a little faster. I feel like you get more description of Svartalfs in the first Bigfoot story. That's when Harry like really details like, alright, what do these guys look like? What's their culture? How do they act? And shit like that. I don't think they really explain it very well in Bombshells, at least not from my memory. But Harry, I mean, Harry does a good job at the start of Peace Talks of describing what they are too. Like he sums it up pretty succinctly by saying Austria is like the prototypical Svartalf, like really anal, fucking super orderly, super like committed to duty, shit like that. Yeah, it's not like Battleground is about Fomor versus Svartalfs. It's about Fomor versus literally everybody. I guess that's how I view it. Svartalfs are only relevant for the Thomas side plot, not really the story of Battleground as a whole. I see. Yeah, I think I kind of get it. Although, I mean, they're acting like that in Ghost Story when they're chasing Molly around. I thought, in a way that the Gray Ghost or Corpse Taker was dealing with Listen as a representative of the Fomor. I mean, I still don't know what Fomor's goal is, other than King Korb hates Mab's order. And that wasn't gone over in Bombshell. It's like a King Korb not wanting to be part of the Unseelie Accords is what their motivation is, as far as I understand it. You guys are wandering around enough, you can stop. I see. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, it reveals their ability to be treacherous. But we all knew they were going to be treacherous before the book even came out, just because the way Jim went about his interviews. He's like, makes it very obvious that the people calling the peace talks aren't actually going to have peace. I mean, he was saying, what he was saying was obvious, though. He was saying that, yeah, we're going to call this book Peace Talks, and I'm sure that's going to go well. You know, has his typical sarcasm, like, we're all going to just get together and sing Kumbaya and be friends. And he's obviously implying that things are going to go south, but what else would you expect? Why would you have a book about peace talks where it's actually peaceful? Like, that book just never would be written, so. He didn't reveal anything that we couldn't have easily guessed. Yeah, I get it though, because like he planned the plot for Mirror Mirror like 15 years ago at this point. Like, how do you keep quiet about something for 15 years? I don't know. You can stop being a prick. Thank you. I mean, I feel like at one point, like, he wasn't sure that he would ever actually write Mirror Mirror. Like this, let me guess, this interview where he says that is probably from like 8 to 12 years ago or something like that. At that point, he was probably like thinking, like, I'm fucking done with this series anyways, I'm not gonna even write it. I really think that when he had his huge gap between books, like, he would never admit it publicly for fear of less sales, but like I think he was pretty over the series. Like, I don't think he really wanted to write it for a long time. It seems like now he does, because he went straight from finishing 12 months to immediately working on Mirror Mirror. Anyway. Why do I have hiccups, dude? There's no reason to have hiccups right now. There's zero reason for hiccups. Well, what we do know is the news has come out that like he was extremely depressed and like suicidal, and like he had no interest in like in writing at all, I think, for a long time. And he had like 2 divorces, lost his favorite pet, and life just kicked him in the ass. I think that's part of what gives him good material to have in 12 months, because like he went through the same kind of grieving that Harry's going through. Unfortunately, there's only like 3 hiccups. I think they're gone. So it makes no sense to have even 1 hiccup when I haven't eaten any food or drank anything in like 30 minutes. I don't think his house burned down. I think he was like forced to move for some reason else, for some other reason. And then he had like the big contractor problem. And he was like trying to get some change to his house that took like way longer than it was supposed to. But I think it was mostly like the divorce that was driving his lack of motivation, because like his first wife was probably a big fan of the series. Like he probably felt inspired by her in a way. It's like for like he might have even had like an association, like maybe whenever he wrote about Murphy, like he thought about his wife or something. So like he would want to avoid having to think about or write about her, for example. It's like same reason why, like, even though I really liked Twilight Princess, the first couple times I played it, it was like one of my favorite Zeldas. There were years and years where like I couldn't even play that game because it reminded me of my wife. And it's probably a similar thing with Jim, like he had to learn how to detach memories of an old life with the story in order to move on. I feel like that's not a very good excuse though, the contractor thing. Like, if you have a laptop, you can write in a fucking hotel room. Like, you can write anywhere. You don't need a house to write. Like, he wasn't writing because he didn't want to write. When you hear some crazy Zoomer ass shit that I find hard to believe. Jim's son, James Butcher, wrote all of his books on a fucking cell phone. While like out and about in public, like if he's just like riding the bus, he'd fucking pull out his cell phone and write a book on his phone. That's crazy to me, dude. You gotta be a Zoomer to be able to type on a cell phone fast enough for that process to not be insanely slow. Yeah. How can you possibly type up so many words on a phone like that? I feel like for me, writing something on a phone takes 10 times longer than typing on a keyboard, at least. So yeah, I have no idea how that was possible. Yeah, I think a big one was too was the loss of his dog. I think that really tore him up a lot, and that happened around the same time between Skin Game and Peace Talks. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, there was a really good interview recently. I forget which one it was, where he said some really assuring stuff about like how he's really finally like genuinely inspired again. Like he's got his intrinsic motivation back, whereas the past few books I think have just been purely extrinsic motivation. Like he wanted to pay his bills, you know. He had the pressure of fans wanting him to release content. Whereas I think now it's like it's coming from his heart, which is going to make for much faster releases and probably better quality content as well. I think he's also realizing too that like that he's getting older and that like he can't keep going at the pace he's currently going and finish the series before it's likely ends. Just unfortunately, whereas like I don't know, like 10 or 20 years ago, he was like big on the like biotechnology bandwagon of like people are gonna start living to 200 years old in the next 20 years and shit like that. Like, I guess now he realizes that's probably not gonna happen. No, I forgot that. I thought the like needed 2 swings to kill. Because since I killed the like, it allowed the red guy to nuke me for 4 hearts of damage. Whereas if I just stayed in the like, I would not have taken damage from that. So I figured I'd hit the like twice and then save the 3rd hit to kill him for after the nuke. But no, it's fucking 2 swings to kill the like. Oh my god. This is looking a little risky. Like, I'm not too worried about dying, but like it could happen at this point. Like, this is within range of potentially dying here, so I'm gonna try to be careful. Okay, let's just take damage from the strongest attacking enemy in the game. As I'm talking about being careful. What, a Dresden plot theory? What are you talking about? What's it about? Can you just summarize it, or do we want to not include potential spoilers for chat? I mean, I've been spoiling a lot of shit, but I've been trying to not spoil super important stuff. Alright, we're safe now. I feel like I've heard this before from other people, but yeah, I'm curious. What? God damn it, dude! Fuck off. Yeah, people have been saying that about a lot of shit since like early on, so I don't know, but maybe. And people think a really big important clue is that remember Little Chicago? Like Little Chicago was broken at one point. And then like some later scene is just mysteriously working again. And like that either could have been a mistake or a clue that something weird happened that we don't know about. But yeah, sometimes fans do catch some pretty surprising stuff. Like, what comes to mind the most is in the months between Peace Talks and Battleground coming out, there are a lot of people on Reddit who are like, not believing that Thomas was just trying to say, tell Justine I love her or whatever. And I thought they were all crazy. It's like, clearly Thomas is just thinking of Justine because he loves her and he wants Harry to take care of her while he's gone. No, like, that's very relevant. The end of Battleground. Oh, okay. Yeah, then Harry, yeah. That wouldn't have been a mistake then. So yeah, we gotta figure out what that is. Who did that? That could be a parallel universe or time travel kind of thing. Maybe just intervention from a god or something to prevent him from actually blowing himself up. Yeah, right. Oh. Let's see if this game is fun enough to finish without hating it this time. What baffles me is that Jim thinks he's provided plenty of clues and information to figure out who Bob's parents are. And nobody, literally nobody I've heard has any idea. Like, it's not an important thing, but it's like just, it's a curious case study of how the author thinks some things are obvious that nobody fucking knows, whereas other things that he thought were really subtle, people figured out. Yeah, in the interview he did with the Dresden Files podcast, he says something like, yeah, I've given you plenty of information to know who Bob's parents are, and you would know what Bob knows if you knew who his parents are, and like it would help you understand why Bob is the way he is and all this shit. Like, but nobody fucking knows. Yeah, I've read the series like 10 times and I still have no idea. Although Mab is a likely suspect for being involved just because Bob is so inexplicably afraid of Mab. It's like as if she's his mother. Yeah, it's not important. Again, it's just I just bring it up because it's like the disconnect from what Jim thinks is an obvious clue versus what the audience can perceive, and then what Jim thinks is a very subtle clue, the audience can like see straight through. So it's interesting. Oh, crazy idea. Yeah, true. I feel like there's probably some rule about Winter Queens not being able to have offspring, but Mab did have offspring, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure Maeve already existed before she became a fairy, but honestly, we don't really have a lot of information on that. Like, Mab's origin story is only vaguely alluded to. Like, we know that she was once mortal. We knew that she, like, had a thing for Merlin. And that, like, I don't know, a lot of it's revealed in that interaction between Corb and Mab at the end of Peace Talks, which is really interesting. Thinking of, like, what Mab was like as, like, a teenager or some shit. But it's like, it kind of defies the way things have been explained to us. Like, the way things have originally been explained is that Fae were all, like, born changelings, and then they have to choose which side they're gonna go to. Whereas with Mab, it's like she was just raw vanilla mortal, and then somehow she became a fairy. So I don't know. Oh, Mab isn't... Keep in mind, Mab is also not necessarily the first Mab. There may have been a Winter Queen before her. Oops. Yeah, she's significantly younger than several other characters. That makes her younger than Nicodemus, Deidre, or I guess Deidre too, but she doesn't matter anymore. Tessa's older than that. The White King is older than that, actually. White King is apparently like 2,000 years old as well. Yeah, Mab is not the oldest on the block. Pretty sure Dracul was going to be a lot older than Mab as well. Wonder how old Mavra is. Yeah, Red King was super ancient. Yeah, for sure. Like, basically, all the leaders of the vampire courts are totally ancient by our standards. I just wonder how fucked up is shit gonna get if and when Mab dies. I feel like that's very likely to happen by the end. And then we gotta fucking have a Queen Molly see what we do about that whole situation. That could get pretty ugly because, you know, Harry says to kill Molly if she becomes the Winter Queen. Sorry to everyone in chat who has no idea what I'm talking about. This is the Dresden Files. It's the GOAT urban fantasy series. It's really good. I feel like Mab telling Harry what to do if Molly ever has to take her place is like definitely foreshadowing that that is gonna happen. I feel like Jim would not have even brought that up if he didn't plan on doing it sometime. So yeah, that's gonna be dramatic. Just think about it. Why else would he possibly dream of like including that idea in the book? Like, unless he was planning to use it, he wouldn't have mentioned that. Didn't Kalu and Kumori actually give Bianca the Athame, and then she gave it to Leah? So I think Kalu and Kumori presents Bianca with that as a gift first, or something like that. Oh yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Mab has to not make it through the series for a lot of reasons. Like she's basically the symbol of order in the supernatural world. As the founder of the Unseelie Accords, she's what gives all the supernaturals laws against interfering with mortal business, basically. And I think that order has to be broken at some point. It's part of like an apocalyptic event. Damn it. Damn it! This fucking guy. Will you fucking... I feel like I read that somewhere. Maybe go to the wiki and look up Morgana's Athame. See what the wiki has to say about it. Also, Morgana, who's that? Isn't that like somebody involved in like Merlin era? Well, he's actually very inconsistent about that. Because, yeah, early on when Harry has his winter mist drained out of him, his spine goes back to being broken. But I think in Cold Days, same shit happens. But, like, he's not paralyzed anymore. So, yeah, I don't really know if that's still applicable. Maybe his improved wizard healing allowed his spine nerves to regrow or some shit. I'm almost positive Harry has the winter mantle blocked by Lacuna putting nails in his skin during a fight, and Harry feels the winter mantle go, and then he continues to flee towards a car or some shit like that. And he should not be able to move his legs at all. I don't know, maybe you could argue that a nail is only a partial blockage of the winter, but... I don't know. Time for another reread. I don't know every single detail perfectly. Wait, really? So we're not even sure if Bianca gave Leah the knife? Let alone that Kalakumori gave somebody the knife? Could've sworn Kalakumori had a gift of significance in there. Oh, okay. Damn it! Ah. Why was Leah motivated to have Amarachius? Yeah, you definitely should, Mac. Hopefully we haven't given away too many important things in this conversation. I can think of at least one thing that you probably don't want to know as a spoiler, but hopefully you just didn't catch it. Yeah, I'm not a big books guy. Like, I never liked reading as a kid. But, over the past 10 years or so, I've read or listened to maybe 100 audiobooks at least. Contrasting Files is easily number one for me. It's easily the best story I've listened to. Problem is it's not done yet. We're on like books 18 coming out next week, with like 6 more to go after that. So you have time to get into it, because the story won't actually be done by the time you're done going through what's currently released. Oh god, I haven't been too late for that in fucking like 100 runs. This is really bad. How am I at 2 hearts already? Yeah, true. I started Dresden Files just as a means of like getting through travel easier. But like it slowly evolved into something that like I'll listen to like every single day before I go to bed. I mean, just like audiobooks in general. Like, they're great for fucking travel, but they're also just great for like a replacement for watching TV and shit. Should I get some safety hearts? I feel like such a chump if I get safety hearts here. But I really don't want to die to twin mold or whatever land mole is. I guess we're going for it. Don't get hit. 2 hits from the worms will kill me. But I can survive 4 hits from the dirt that they throw. The biggest risk is right at the start here, because they could like spawn and immediately turn towards me. Okay, down to 1 heart. That's good. Could be good here. I'm really surprised if I managed to die in this situation. Yeah, just a quick synopsis of what Dresden Files is about to decide if you really think it's interesting enough to check out. Is basically magic is real. It's modern day Chicago, but most humans aren't aware that magic is real because they either haven't been exposed to it or they're in like willful ignorance because it's basically too scary or traumatic for them to accept. You've got vampires living amongst the human. You've got fairies, got angels and demons, and the main character is basically just a dude trying to make ends meet by having basically a PI kind of consulting gig where he uses the fact that he knows about magic to help solve mysteries and crimes. But as time goes on, the world gets richer and richer in detail. The stakes get higher and higher. And the main character becomes more and more badass. God damn it. What makes it like one of the greatest books of all time, as far as I'm concerned, is it's mostly the character development. Nobody writes characters as well as the author Jim Butcher. Like there will be so many characters that you will like for a wide variety of reasons, and they all feel very unique. They all have like very distinct personalities and interesting characteristics about them. And the author is also really good at planting seeds in advance and questions in your mind that you're dying to have answered. It's a big part of what makes his writing so good. It's like you will have questions after every book that like you need answered. So you're gonna want to read the next book to find the answers to your questions.
And then you get caught up, like us, and then you have to wait for, like, fucking years to get your answers. It's great. One. I guess the last thing I would say to kind of warn you is that while I think all the books in the series are amazing, the first couple of books were written by essentially a college student at the time. He was not quite as good at his craft as he is now, and the voice actor for the audiobooks. He's always been a very famous, very good actor. There's some quality issues in the first couple audiobooks where it's like you'll hear shit like his lips smacking here, or like a lot of him like taking breaths. And he's a little less like emotional with his delivery at the beginning. By the end, like his acting is like really good for high quality. There's even a really good mistake in the fourth audiobook where the voice actor's like, "Oh, I thought he had him by the back of the neck. Fuck." He like rereads the line. Like, they just forgot to cut out the part where he like totally starts talking about his voice acting and was like pissed off that he said it wrong or something. Oh my god. Go. Yeah, it's kind of funny, like hearing how the voice actor like changes over the series. He starts out where like, you know, when the main character casts spells, he like says a magic word to cast it basically. One of them is like fuego. Oh my god. Oh, that kills this run. Essentially, it's dead. And in like the first book, like the voice actor will just be like, and then I cast a spell and I shouted, "Fuego!" But by the end, he's like, and then Fuego! He gets like super into it. It yells at the top of his lungs every time he casts a spell. God damn it! I haven't fallen to this guy in forever. I'm kind of ashamed. Woo! It's a close call. Can't you just send him the link to the audiobooks in my chat? Does he really have to join Discord? I appreciate you promoting my Discord, but even I don't actually use my Discord, so... Ah, that makes sense, yeah. I legit don't even know what Discord you're talking about. I have 2 Discords. Oh, really? That's the only one I have? Okay. Yeah, that one's meant just to be about my band, which is really just me by myself at this point. But the other Discord I have is for the RPG Maker game. It kind of makes more sense for video game related shit to be on that one, but I guess most people just know about the music one. For the RPG Maker thing? I think I saw it. There's one guy's like said that my design was evil or something. And then somebody else said it was a good game, I think. Yeah, it was good. I check that every now and again. Problem is, it was built on an outdated version of RPG Maker, which means like new people were unlikely to discover it. It was not good. There's a lot of time here. Like, basically, people go look up RPG Maker games, like, they're gonna get sent to, like, games made on the newest system first, probably. It's not like I could just easily convert my game to the new version. That would actually be extremely complicated and hard to do. And then with that game, I run into the ultimate problem is it can't be put on most game lists because it contains copyrighted content. In order to have your game on like Steam or some shit like that, it has to be all original content. And I ripped off like basically everything that I ever found entertaining as a kid. Yeah, my credits for that game are hilarious because I have to like credit every single thing that I stole content from. It's like a list of like 30 different things. Like there's even a credit for NASA. I'm like, thanks to NASA for providing images of all the planets. This one's dead, dude. It sucks. Like, it's already just totally ruined. It's that Moldorm fall plus this guy not giving good RNG. But I don't feel so demotivated that I don't want to finish yet. We shall trudge on and pretend as if the time saved matters. Son of a bitch. Ugh. See if I can beat the fireball for once. Nope, I can't because that guy was in the way. No. Come on. If you're still here, Mac, I think you in particular might really appreciate the Dresden Files because it does contain some of the cooler aspects of like Christianity as part of the world building. Like you've got like genuine paladins and angels, and it's implied that basically the Christian God is like the true God, ultimate God. There's a lot of like shit that's like if you're into religion, like you'll definitely like it. Especially starting around book 5. Garbage, aren't you here? Okay, that works though. It's a pretty bad fight. At least I didn't die. I guess if I got first try digging game and first try chest game, this could still PB. Let's not give up all hope yet. We'll give up all hope in about 5 minutes. Really? Wow, dude. It knocked me so far away from where I was going. Dude, this digging is shit. Doesn't really matter. Mostly just luck anyway. It determines whether I get the heart piece, but okay, well, that's good. I mean, it's good, but it's also bad because I kind of wanted to pee once the run is actually dead. I have to actually try the whole time. That's well over an hour until I get to pee, so that sucks. And Alice Cooper is? Yes. Really? He's like an 80s metal musician. Most known for No More Mr. Nice Guy. If you've ever heard that expression before, like he might have been the one who popularized it. Although my favorite song by him, also pretty famous, is Feed My Frankenstein. That shit's awesome. I mean, I doubt he's the one who popularized it. It was probably already popular before you wrote a song about it, but like, It's a pretty well-known song of his. Yeah, Feed My Frankenstein is the best song of his for sure. That band's just called Alice Cooper. I probably know about them because of Wayne's World, the movie Wayne's World. Features him, like, he even has like a couple scenes of him acting in it. Yeah, Alice Cooper is the front man, lead singer. I don't know if he writes everything, but he's got some damn good guitarists as well. I think he's got 2 guitars. They're both pretty solid. His scenes in fucking Wayne's World are actually really funny. You expect him to be this like badass dude, but like he starts going on about like fucking like Native American history or some shit, and it's like totally nerdy and like unexpected. Wayne's just like, does this dude know how to party or what? And he just like stares at him like, what are you, like a little kid? Like, what's wrong with you? Well, got the digging game RNG I needed, but this is not looking too good so far. It's gotta be like this time or the next time. I gotta get the heart piece really soon to PB. It's not looking good. This round's dead. This round's super dead. Fuck. I don't think I can PB with this, but it's like, I wouldn't say it's 100% outside the realm of possibility. But I don't know. It's pretty much out of possibility, I think. I'd say like versus PB, I think I saved about a minute on the digging game, but lost about a minute and a half to the chest game. So that's a net of 30 seconds behind PB. Plus, like 20 seconds or so lost in Tower Hera following the Moldorm. I'm probably like almost a minute behind PB actually, which means there's no way. If I had splits, I could tell you how far behind PB I am for sure, but I just have to guess and feel it out. Oh my god. Dude. My god. I think I'm gonna just take a break here in a minute. It's not very speedrunner-esque, but really like to use the restroom. Make a protein shake. Go. Hmm. I think I'm going to do that break I was talking about. So I'll be right back.
Alright, I'm back. Stirring up my drink. Bruce is in a funny pose right now, doing that thing where cats will like lay there, like all twisted up with their bellies hanging out. Well, the run died to the chest minigame. It took me like 10 tries to get the heart piece, so that makes it pretty much impossible to PB. Gameplay wise, it's been mostly good, but one major mistake, just falling to Moldorm, you know, the worm boss that knocks you into holes. So because of that, even if I got the good RNG from the mini games, the run wouldn't have been that good anyway. Still slightly more into the game than I was on Monday. But at the same time, I'm also like kind of ready to just be done with gaming today. Just think. I have to be ready to do Max's thing tomorrow, which will generally be better if I am well rested. This combo will finish around 11 p.m. and that is still probably plenty early enough to get enough sleep tonight. I'm not as worried about sleep tonight because I don't have to lift tomorrow, so if I'm tired it doesn't really matter as much. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna try again. I told them how I don't like the idea of being the first patient on their new anesthesia machine, but they assured me they tested it very well. I was so freaked out when like the vet came in and he's like, it's just like, things are not looking good, unfortunately. I'm like, oh my god, Smack's dead.
turns out our anesthesia machine is not working, so... Yeah, I definitely feared for the worst for about 5 seconds there. Yeah, well, he didn't actually word it that way. I think he said it in a strange way. Yeah, like it was some like expression I'd never heard before. I don't even remember what it is, but I knew that he's coming in, you know, without Max, saying he has. I could tell that he was upset because all this super expensive equipment broke. So. Oh jeez, yeah, that's scary. Where are you going, guy? Get down here. Yeah, I think the vet was just pissed off because, like, he lost a lot of money, so... Therefore, he appeared like he was maybe upset about Max, but... Nope. Where am I going? Right. Yeah, I've used the wands before. It's pretty new technology, which is probably part of why it's expensive, I think. Yeah, it's just like a teeny tiny little wand thing, so it's surprising that it's that expensive.
I got some emails from HR today that kind of convinced me that I don't have to be worried about being asked to come into the office. So it said, like, first email included like instructions for what to do if you're a remote employee. The other email was like saying like who's expected to come into the office, and it's like whenever people who are on like once a quarter office schedules, people who are like twice a month office schedules, no mention of remote employees. Yeah, it's a hard decision. I would say yes, just because it means I could retire sooner. So which ultimately would result in less work, which is my whole goal. But it's a hard decision because, like, I'm also, like, very satisfied with my income. I don't really give a shit about having a house anymore. Like, I don't want to be responsible for my own appliances and stuff. Yeah, I used to want a house, but now, like, I really like the fact that I can just call people to fix anything. And they have to do it for free. I was also kind of scared out of getting a house, talking to my friend who owns one recently, saying how, like, after being a homeowner for a long time now, he's like suddenly like getting into like trouble because taxes have gone up so much. It's like, just because you can afford a house now doesn't mean you can afford it when the taxes go up randomly. No. I would prefer... Well, if you mean one story as in the entire building is just one story, that I would probably take. That'd be good. But the vertical nature of my apartment means nobody gets to live below me or above me. And the single most important thing in any living situation for me is, can I sleep? And if I can hear my neighbors at all, I can't sleep. I mean, my ideal house situation would be like living in a very rural area with a very massive house. That would be ideal, but I would have to be wealthy enough that I could basically hire people to deal with any kind of maintenance and not have to mow my own lawn and shit, because I don't want to do that. And that's not practical. Like, everybody who has a house has to mow their own lawn. No, I'm gonna go with no. I like the vertical nature of my place because it makes it feel like a giant tree house, which is cool, and my cats really enjoy being able to go up and down stairs. They get more exercise that way. So it's got some perks.
Although if it were a one-story home, I'd be able to throw shit around more to get the cats to chase it. It's like when I'm throwing toys for cats to chase here, I gotta like usually throw it upstairs or throw it downstairs. It's not quite as good for play. I like it. Yeah, I pretty much like it. There's not a lot I would change about my current living situation. I would just like just minor things bother me about this place. You got this will definitely make it. One of the big problems here is we got emergency vehicles always driving by. It's really fucking annoying. The heater situation, or the AC situation, which we talked about last week a lot. That's a problem. There's some like plumbing problems here, and like the upstairs shower is pretty much useless. And everything here is just kind of old. It's an old building, so like it seems a little rickety. It's the best way I can describe it. It's a rickety old building. Not the most secure. And then I've totally ruined the carpets here, which I guess would happen in any house that I own. Yeah, the carpets are really fucked up. I like that idea. I've looked into it. The problem is, like, vast majority of them say no pets allowed. Yep, like pretty much every single option around where I live has said no pets. I'll check again in like July or August. Like personal rentals? I guess, I don't know. Like I don't know who owned it. I didn't look that hard. I probably looked at like 3 or 4 options and I was like, wow, none of them accept pets. Fuck this, I quit. It could have just happened to have been like the 3 or 4 buildings that don't accept pets out of like a majority that do. Yeah, which one is... I honestly don't know if I made the crystal switch the right color here. I think it's the right color. I think if the switch is blue, it means the blue pegs are down, which is what I want. What is the screen doing? The screen I just fell down with like the grating for floor. Like when you first go in there, it's nothing but just like an empty room. That shaking after lighting the candles is supposed to signify the like building of the grating in that room. The grating is like unfolding basically. Nope. That's normal. Yeah, you would never be able to actually see the grading coming up, but it's just how the game is communicating to you that something is changing nearby. So the game does like the same thing in a couple other situations. Like it's already done it twice in the gameplay so far. It's just every other time the mechanic has been happening, it's been on the same screen where I triggered it. So, for example, the second dungeon, the Desert Palace, lighting some candles right before the boss makes the wall sort of like slowly expand. And then, yeah, another dungeon, you got the eye statue that you hit with an arrow to make the wall expand. So it's like the same thing going on, basically. It's just instead of the wall, it's the grating in the room next door. Yeah, I would prefer to rent a house to an apartment, I think, because house implies separation from your neighbors instead of having to share a wall in common, which could mean more noise reduction, but not necessarily. But it also seems more temporary. I feel like people rent out homes are like only doing it for a couple of years. That was close. Yeah, I should look into something new this summer. Lease ends in October. But it's like it's so contingent on being able to work from home. And like I don't find that out until like the very same month that the lease would have to renew. So it's like super hard to plan ahead. Plus, again, like, just in a lot of ways, like, all the things I used to think I wanted in life, I'm realizing have some, like, serious drawbacks that might make life worse than I think it would be. Like, I always figured, like, man, I really wish I didn't live in a fucking city, because I hate being surrounded by people and, like, traffic and stuff. But, like, because I live where I live, my options on DoorDash are fucking phenomenal. And I live off of that shit. And if I move out to a more secluded area, my DoorDash options are going to vanish. And then my grocery store and slash pharmacy will no longer be, like, a short walking distance away. It's like there's all kinds of penalties for moving away from the city. Yeah, it's like there's so much shit that I thought I wanted. And like over the past like decade, I've realized that, oh wow, I actually never actually wanted that, because it would suck actually. Like owning a house and then having your taxes go up all the time and having to mow the lawn and fucking deal with the broken clients every couple months. Then the biggest one is like, I always thought like, wow, I really want to be a famous musician who goes on tour. And like, I realized I would hate being on tour. Like, I would absolutely hate it. Like, yeah, the shows, like the performance of the concert would be amazing. I fucking hate being like forced out of my comfort zone, like not being able to bring my pets with me. Fucking constantly being somewhere unfamiliar, constantly having to meet strangers. Yeah, it's just like, it would totally suck. No, I really can't imagine anything more unsettling than being on tour. Although I guess most musicians' tours are like pretty reasonable. Like when my two favorite bands, Opeth and Tool, go on tour, it's usually like just like a month. Whereas originally, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Metallica size. They do like, well, they did like a tour for like basically 2 years straight, non-stop touring when they were at their peak popularity. That's just totally insane. Really? And also, you gotta consider, like, people like Metallica have, like, serious mental health problems. And, like, some of the members are just as, like, hated as they are loved. And I think human psychology is such that one hater can, like, override 100 fans. Like, more than 100 times as many people saying they love your shit than people who hate it. Thank you. Hey Jay, welcome back, man. What are you up to? What? How is that not warping me, dude? I'm like... That makes no sense. Like, you get warped because, like, you're overlapping the bush, and I was, like, all over that bush, dude. How am I doing today? No better, no worse than any other day. Every single day. Same thing. Just brings me one step closer to bad shit happening. What? How did... This sucks. I'm gonna be going up and down for like a minute here. Wow. I was kind of exaggerating, but I guess it wasn't exaggerating. It was like a minute. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't tarnish a good steak with beer. I pretty much I only eat steak with like soda, pretty much. Usually it's soda. Something sweet. Balance out the savory. Go. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that makes more sense. Yeah, the flavor of beer and steak clash pretty harshly. Oh, okay, that's me too. I am questioning the inclusion of Mario here. I think it'll be fun, but I also think I'd rather do something less stimulating, less bright and cheery and all. try to encourage early sleep. Make your own steak that way. Have to see what kind of rig you have to do that. I don't know anybody else who cooks their own steak on mesquite wood. Yeah, I like a steak tonight. I wouldn't say no to that. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't know anybody who cooks steak on wood. Any kind of wood. It's either a grill or a pan. Yeah, sorry to hear that, O-Box. I would eat steak all the time on my diet if I had a good source of it that delivered it basically and shit. Come on, why? Just why? It's like around here I've got Outback Steakhouse. I could order from them, but I think the Outback near here is like 7 miles away. So when you order from DoorDash, it's like 15-minute drive to get here or so. That's enough time for it to not be nearly as fresh. Now the other problem with Outback Steakhouse is it has so many tempting like add-ons. It's hard to just get the steak and tell them don't give me a salad, don't give me fucking bread, don't give me fucking bloomin' onion. I just want the fucking steak. You know, a bloomin' onion is like 2,500 calories. And I can easily eat like a whole bloomin' onion to myself. So I think when I get Outback, that is actually the single highest calorie meal that I ever get. It's like 2,000 calories worth of bloomin' onion. The steak itself is only like 600 calories. And then you have the loaf of bread, which is like probably another 500. And the salad it comes with is usually very heavy on the ranch cheese. So that's gotta be a lot too. Then I eat it with soda, so it's like Outback for me is like a 4,000 calorie meal. Might be too late here. Yeah, it was too late for the head to retract early. Yeah, it sounds good, Jay, but usually when I have a steak dinner, I also want like a high source of carbs as well. Yeah, bloomin' onion is amazing, dude. Like, yeah, I really want some of that right now. But that's like super, like, not ideal to get delivered. You gotta eat bloomin' onion as soon as it's done cooking, or it's gonna go soggy. Just not taste nearly as good. So yeah, the only way to enjoy Outback Steakhouse is to actually go to Outback Steakhouse IMO. You don't want to order that shit from DoorDash. And then if you go to the restaurant, you got two big problems with that restaurant. Is first of all, it's always super crowded. So you end up spending forever there, waiting for a table and like getting your service. The worst part is Outback Steakhouse is unreliable in terms of their meat quality, basically. Like sometimes you get just like a picture perfect steak where it's like it's just like very uniform, like solid meat, nice normal ass shape. Other times you get steak from there and it's like fucking got all kinds of fucking gristle, like giant chunks of fat, like not cooked right, not juicy. Like the quality of the steak you get there is incredibly like hit or miss. I don't have a Texas Roadhouse, no. I don't think. I might have to look that up. Cause yeah, if there were a restaurant where I could order steak and like just the steak, and not get tempted with like all the sides that they try to force on you, that'd be really good for my diet. Because like just a steak by itself is gonna be well under 1,000 calories, even if you get like a big one, and it's delicious. Yeah, I remember that. That makes sense. Restaurants want you to leave the experience feeling completely full, completely satisfied. It'd be unusual for them to sell you just steak by itself and no sides. No starch of any kind. Chili has just steak? So I do have a Chili's quite nearby. I've had their steak fajitas a couple times, and that shit is really good. That's my go-to order there, is steak fajita. But I didn't think they had just steak. I might look at the menu and try to get something there. Because with Chili's, the sides they give are not... They're not going to tempt me the way Outback does. It's like Outback gives you that brown bread that they have. That shit is... I couldn't say no to that. If I received a bag with that bread in it delivered to my house, I'm not going to be able to resist eating it. I just can't. And then when I'm on the menu for Outback, I'm going to, like, hate the fact that I'm not ordering Bloomin' Onion as well. Whereas Chili, I have no such associations. The problem with salads is kind of like I was saying with Outback, is like a good salad is going to have a shitload of cheese and a shitload of dressing. So they're not actually like very healthy. Asparagus should be healthy, right? Don't they put a lot of butter on asparagus though? Anyway, it's not important. That was nice RNG for those guys. Terrible RNG for these guys. Yeah, it's like the worst possible RNG for this room. Oh my god. I don't know how to do this room quickly without a fire rod. And you don't want to get your fire rod out in 100% because you want to kill these guys with the bow. So somehow you have to do that room before with the bow as well. But it never works out to do that. What? No. Now I can't just go straight to the door in the next room. Oh my god. Yeah, I would never eat a salad without ranch dressing. And with the Outback salad, I would never be able to order it without the cheese. Yeah, asparagus sounds not too bad, but I don't like asparagus personally. How do you fucking do that fucking door, dude? God damn it. It's pissing me off. It's been like 10 runs in a row where I can't dash through that door. I don't understand how to set it up anymore. I used to.
Damn it. Sucked.
You did it. Again. Yeah, I don't think I'm in the mood for the extreme noise and brightness that is Mario 64. I want something dark and quiet. Which technically, I guess Ocarina of Time practice would fit that bill. Probably not gonna do that either. I've never understood why the credits for the Japanese version are in English. Presumably, it wouldn't be very hard to change the text to Japanese. I wonder if we had to compose the song and then they matched the credits to be the same length as the song? Or did they tell him the song has to be such and such long? Silly question. I think that's gonna be it for me. If I didn't have an early morning tomorrow, I would just plow through this and keep playing Mario 64, but I want to try to wind down as early as possible here. I don't have to go to the vet until 8:30, but I have to give him medicine at 6:45. So it's like I might as well try to go to sleep early enough for 6:45 to be enough sleep. Boy, Max. You a good boy? You a good boy. I hope we're successful in recruiting Mac into the cult of Dresden here. See what he says in a couple weeks. But I'm gonna go keep working on this other series, Lightbringer. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Fingers crossed that it's a low-key, no-drama day. Have a good night.